Hello everyone, I am Zazubaar, and welcome to the final part of Sicktastic Films' Jurassic Park review miniseries.
The history of evolution has taught us that life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and it crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously. But I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
Until Jurassic Park scientists came along. Using sophisticated techniques, they extract the preserved blood from the mosquito and, bingo, dino DNA.
Dinosaurs and man, two species separated by 65 million years of evolution, have just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together. How can we possibly have the slightest idea what to expect?
Dr. Grant, my dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
And now we finally wrap up this romp through the Jurassic Park films. Not quite as long or as epic as my Godzilla Palooza, but still, it was a pretty cool ride. And I have never watched the Jurassic Park films in sequence before, let alone reviewed them. So this was definitely a new experience for me, and a very interesting experience. The Jurassic Park films, as I mentioned in the first part, were always such a big part of my childhood and the way I look at entertainment that it was such a different experience reviewing them, and I really enjoyed it. I really thought that it was just a really great thing to get my views on the Jurassic Park films out there, since it is such a popular franchise, especially amongst people who share the same fandoms as me. So I really enjoyed getting my thoughts on the series out there. Just overall, this was a great feature. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. But of course, we may be done with the Jurassic Park movies, but we're not done yet. I want to do one last video for the Jurassic Park review miniseries. And that video we're going to do now. Now, we're not just going to cover one topic in this video like we've done in the past 3 videos, where in each video we talked about a different Jurassic Park movie. No, this time we're going to be doing a couple of things. But the first thing I want to do is I want to discuss the series and looking back in retrospective. Let's talk about Jurassic Park in review. Now, I know we already reviewed the Jurassic Park series, but, you know, what I mean by that is, so let's look back on the whole series now that we've gotten through all of it. So, I don't think the legacy of Jurassic Park can be understated, because it is such a huge pop culture phenomenon now, or at least, maybe not as much of it as it was, like 10 years ago, but it's still, you still see it referenced, you'll still see people making videos about it, you still see movies referencing it, people talking about it. It's a very present idea in pop culture. And I think one reason for that, in fact, is Jurassic Park's premise. I mean, you look at Jurassic Park and you've got cloning. Cloning and genetics and the power of genetic research is a big part of our present-day political and scientific culture. Cloning is still, it's not perfected, but we've done it before. It's happened. And we're getting closer to being able to clone something like a mammoth. So the fact that a movie came along and explored what exactly might happen if we brought something, in this case dinosaurs, back to life via cloning, what might be the repercussions of that? And it may not be the best film to explore the themes of cloning, but I thought it was very interesting in how it tackled what happens once you've cloned something, the responsibility involved. Using cloning and genetic research to do something like create a theme park where people, with the intention of showmanship before scientific research. That's a big theme in Jurassic Park, in something that I'm sure a lot of geneticists and scientists and politicians who are connected to scientists and geneticists that they have on their minds. What if we do bring a T-Rex back to life? What do we do with it? Do we study it? Do we show it to the public? What exactly do you do with a cloned T-Rex? What do you do with a cloned mammoth? And I think Jurassic Park is very interesting in how it explored those themes. But more than that, it was also very important for film because it was one of the first films to make wide, extensive use of CG, computer-generated images. Of course, you had films before that used computer-generated images. I think the first film, in fact, was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, another Spielberg film. And then you had films before that, like The Abyss, or not before Close Encounters, but films before Jurassic Park, like The Abyss and Terminator 2, which also made great use of CGI to bring very particular characters to life. The difference with Jurassic Park is that Jurassic Park entirely hinders on the use of the CG and the animatronics and the effects. If you can't convince us that those dinosaurs are real, Jurassic Park would have failed, and they completely succeeded at that. They brought dinosaurs to life in the same way that John Hammond did. They brought us creatures that existed 65 million years ago, and they brought them with majesty and everything involved with dinosaurs, as I talked about in my Jurassic Park review. And just overall for the environment of film, now CG is a widely used medium, of course, some would say overused, I agree. Films after Jurassic Park that of course made wide extensive use of CG because of Jurassic Park, I think the first example is Dragonheart, where Sean Connery voiced a dragon, and teamed up with Dennis Quaid to fight evildoers, that film actually got me because Jurassic Park was such a smash hit, and they used CG to good effect. They also, of course, the big example, Godzilla 1998, which the reason why that film has problems is because it rips off Jurassic Park too much, but that film never would have gotten made the way it was without Jurassic Park. I'm not complaining about that, though. I wouldn't have complained if that hadn't happened, if Jurassic Park, you know what I mean. But the power of what Jurassic Park did cannot be understated in both the film world and in the actual real world of science and politics. So Jurassic Park has had a huge impact on the world. And I just think that that's fascinating how a movie could have that much impact, where to the point of scientists look at Jurassic Park and go, we could do that. So I find that very interesting. So I think Jurassic Park is itself an extremely important film. The series itself, not so much. Not a lot of things make reference to The Lost World or Jurassic Park 3. Mainly, it's the first film. The series itself has not had much impact because the sequels are widely considered to not be very good movies and to not have the same effect that Jurassic Park had. And I don't think they ever could. Jurassic Park did everything Jurassic Park needed to do in terms of bringing the dinosaurs to life. I enjoy the sequels for different reasons. The Lost World is not a great Jurassic Park movie, but it's a really good monster movie. And Jurassic Park 3 is not very good at either. But I enjoy The Lost World, and I kind of enjoy Jurassic Park 3. It's just that they don't have the impact that the original had. They don't have the expansive exploration of the public consciousness of dinosaurs. They're just monster movies. And The Lost World is very entertaining, and Jurassic Park 3 is okay, but at the end of the day, they don't have the impact that the first film had. Now, contrary to that, you look at a series like Star Wars, where arguably each film has its own individual impact, at least in the original trilogy. I find that very interesting, that Jurassic Park doesn't have that. But you look at it and it's because Star Wars is telling us a story over 3 films, and each film is a different act of one large story, so they have different things they're doing in different locations and all that. So each film feels very distinct. But you look at Jurassic Park, where they did everything in the first movie, and then the other two were just kind of doing different things and succeeding and failing to varying degrees. So I think that's why the series has not had a huge impact, but the first film has. So I find that very, very interesting. Looking back on it in retrospective, of course, I think the movies are going in order of chronological order in terms of best movie. Of course, the original Jurassic Park is the best. As I said in my Lost World review, I think The Lost World has a very, very interesting premise and only falters in execution. and that's why I still think it's a decent movie. Not a great Jurassic Park movie and a pretty good monster movie, but it's a decent movie overall. It's got a great premise, just faulty execution. Then you get the Jurassic Park 3, which has no premise and faulty execution of that premise, of the little premise that it has, so not a great movie. So yeah, my liking of the films goes in chronological order of 1 to 3. So not much to say there, because I've kind of already outlined it in my reviews. Jurassic Park is a masterpiece. The Lost World has a great premise, faulty execution. Jurassic Park 3 has no premise and faulty execution of that no premise. So yeah, that's my order. So that's the retrospective on the Jurassic Park films. Of course, Jurassic Park has become a huge brand name with toys and comic books and video games all based around it. We're going to be getting to one of the games in a couple minutes. So there's just a huge market for Jurassic Park items. So Jurassic Park has had a huge pop culture impact in that way too, where there's just a lot of stuff based off of it. There's a comic book sequel to Jurassic Park before the Lost World novel was written, and it apparently does a different story. I really want to get my hands on that and review it, because that's really interesting to me. That they would do, they were so desperate for more Jurassic Park stuff that they would just make stuff up. I find that very, very interesting. So I do want to get my hands on that and review it, because that's very, very interesting to me. So yeah, you got this huge market for Jurassic Park items. Down the line, we might take a look at some of it. Like, I do want to get my hands on that comic book. But then you've got games. There are a lot of Jurassic Park video games. I think probably the most famous is the Jurassic Park arcade games that came out around the times of the movies. Like, I remember the Jurassic Park 3 video game that came out, and the Lost World too. And how much fun those were. Just going around butchering dinosaurs with shotguns and stuff, and being terrified of the Spinosaurus chasing you, or the Raptors and T-Rex. The light gun rail shooter Jurassic Park games. So I think that's probably the most famous Jurassic Park game. There's of course a Jurassic Park kind of point-and-click game that came out recently on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live in episodes. I didn't play that one because I heard terrible things about it, but I did see clips from it and it looked pretty bad. But if anyone else out there enjoyed it, let me know, because I heard terrible things about it. But I do remember seeing stuff for that. So that game came out recently. I think arguably the best Jurassic Park game is Jurassic Park Builder. And with that said, let's talk about Jurassic Park Builder. The reason why I did Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park review miniseries now, was because I've been addicted to Jurassic Park Builder on the iPhone, where you actually get to create your own Jurassic Park, and you get to manage your own dinosaurs and your own concessions and stuff. It's really, really awesome. And I just got so much into Jurassic Park again that I was like, I want to watch the movies. And then when I watched the movies, I was like, I want to review them, and that's why we're doing this miniseries. So let's talk a little bit about Jurassic Park Builder. There's not much to say since it is just kind of an iPhone game, but what you basically do with Jurassic Park Builder is they start you off with one Triceratops that wanders into your compound. And you start out with that, and then you build up a whole entire Jurassic Park around it with other dinosaurs. When you clear out forest on the island, you find new ambers that you get to unlock new embryos from, and that creates new dinosaurs. Now, I'm not sure how many dinosaurs the game has, but there are a lot that aren't in the films, which is very, very interesting. But basically what you do is you just manage your own Jurassic Park. It's very, very fun, very, very accessible. Basically, anyone who just kind of, likes to manage stuff, like if you like Farmville, then I think you'll like Jurassic Park Builder, because it's basically the same premise, just with Jurassic Park, which is more interesting to me than managing a cartoon farm. But it's really, really well done, because it actually works off a lot of the movie's characters, but also a lot of its themes even are in the game. The dinosaurs have the potential to break out, and that's why Ian Malcolm is there analyzing if it's possible for them to break it out. and you have to do missions with him where you're just kind of making sure that that's impossible and just trying to prevent what happened in the first game from happening again. Presumably all the films are in continuity with this game because the Spinosaurus is in it. They just don't have any characters from Jurassic Park 3, but they do have characters from the Lost World in it, like Kelly's in it. And then, of course, they have a lot of characters from the first film. Even John Hammond, who died in the Lost World, is in this game. But you know, we'll ignore that. And he looks like way younger than he even did in the first game. But yeah, Jurassic Park Builder is a lot of fun. It's very, very addicting because you want to keep getting new dinosaurs, opening new concessions, and evolving you get to also evolve your dinosaurs, and you get to evolve them into different colors and varieties, and you get more money from them. Jurassic Park Builder operates on 2 different currencies. It's on gold, and then it's on bucks. Now, gold you actually get from managing your park. When you click on a dinosaur, it'll roar, and then a bunch of money will come out of it. That's from the money you make from that dinosaur being in your park. Because you lay road down, and little tiny cars that are in the movie go down the track, and they pass the dinosaurs and see them, and you make money off of them for that. The bigger your dinosaur, the more popular your dinosaur is, the more money you'll make off of them, the more evolved it is, the older it is and such. You level up each of your dinosaurs individually, and the higher level they are, the more money they make for you. However, they're not going to make money for you without getting something in return. You, of course, have to feed them, and this is where the management comes in. You have to feed the carnivores meat, of course, and the herbivores plants. But you don't have an unlimited supply of this. You have a meat harbor and you have a plant harbor. And what these two do is they ship in on boats, obviously, meat and leaves from the mainland. Now, they don't just come in all day and night. They have to, of course, take breaks since they treat it like a real job. And the only way you can get them to come whenever you want is if you pay them extra. So it costs money for you to keep the meat harbor and the plant harbor going. So there's a lot to this game, obviously. I don't want to get into all of it because we'd be here all day, but it's obviously a very, very fun and addicting game. Now, the bucks come in where the bucks are used for speeding things up. Like whenever you do something in Jurassic Park Builder, like if you clear a forest, it takes time for that forest to get cleared. So like what it'll do is you'll click on an area of forest you want to get cut down so you can put a dinosaur there, put new concessions there, put new road there, whatever. It costs gold to do that, but then if you wanted to go quicker, otherwise it takes like 4 hours. If you want it to go quicker, what you have to do is you have to pay like $4 for it. Now, not necessarily real money, but you get these bucks from doing different things. Like whenever you complete a mission, you'll get both gold and sometimes you'll get bucks. Now, I have a problem with this because I don't, this is obviously a free app, but obviously they gotta make some money somehow. So they do that through advertising, and they do that through some things that are only unlockable if you pay for them. Now, there are of course ways to get bucks by just playing the game, as I just mentioned. There are also ways to get bucks by liking certain Facebook pages, applying for certain things via the internet that are being advertised in Jurassic Park Builder, so that way they make money and the people who are being advertised make money. But stuff like certain dinosaurs are only unlockable through bucks. That is annoying to me because the game is free and you're advertising stuff on your game anyway. That's how you make your money. I just find that very, very annoying. Because you get all this gold and then at some point it's useless because you want to get the T-Rex and it's like $500 and then you have to pay like 45 real dollars to get a bunch of pixels that are called the T-Rex. That infuriates me. Just because we're playing your game anyway, just let us unlock the stuff that you're going to let us unlock. It's very, very annoying. That being said, there's not many problems with Jurassic Park Builder. It's just a really, really fun and addicting game. So if you're a Jurassic Park fan, get this, because it's awesome. Just the idea of managing dinosaurs is really, really fun. So if you're a Jurassic Park fan, I highly recommend it. It's just a lot of fun. My only other problem with it is because you have to actually manually lay the track down for the cars, and you have to do it with your finger. It's like painting it on. which that's fine. That's probably the best way to do it. But you do it one segment at a time. Like, you have to keep clicking to add a new segment on. And what happens is, if you're doing it close to a tree line, which usually you are, your thumb may not be, or your pointing finger may be too big to actually get in between so you can lay the track down and you're not just clicking on trees or on your dinosaur. It's annoying, especially since I have big fingers. And sometimes you can't put track in certain places because the thing is too narrow, or at least it seems it is. It's annoying as all hell. I always hate laying down new track just because it's a really grueling process and it shouldn't be. So that's really my only other problem with Jurassic Park Builder. Otherwise, just a brilliant concept, brilliant execution. Get the game. It's a lot of fun. So it's free, of course, if you have an iPhone or you have a smartphone in general. I think it's on all app stores for all smartphones now. Get the game. It's free. It's a lot of fun. It's addicting. Definitely go ahead and get it. I highly recommend it. So that's Jurassic Park Builder. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 if I was going to rate it. So that's Jurassic Park Builder. Now let's move on to the final thing I want to talk about on this final video of Jurassic Park Review miniseries. Let's talk about, well, two things actually, sorry. There's the 3D re-release of Jurassic Park, which is happening in May, I believe, or May or April. I think it's April, actually. And I think it's coming out on the 9th, and what that's going to be, of course, is Universal re-releasing the original Jurassic Park film in 3D. Now, there has been a very, very mixed reaction to this. Some people like me are very, very excited just to see Jurassic Park in theaters again. Or for me, the first time. I was obviously born a year after Jurassic Park came out. I've never had the chance to see it in theaters, so of course, I'm very, very excited to finally see Jurassic Park on the big screen. That's going to be awesome. But otherwise, people are angry because it's being released in 3D. Now, I actually agree with this. So I'm excited to see Jurassic Park in 3D. I'm also pissed because, not in 3D, excuse me. I'm excited to see Jurassic Park in theaters. No, I'm pissed because Jurassic Park was not made with 3D in mind. It was made with 2D in mind, so it was filmed with that. So converting to 3D, is my opinion, is going to be pointless because it's not going to have a very good effect. It's just going to look blurry. Like when I saw Clash of the Titans, the Sam Worthington version, it wasn't shot with 3D in mind. It was post-converted, and it was fucking horrible. It looked like nothing. It just looked like a 2D movie that wasn't blurry when you put the glasses on. It was ridiculous. I'm very, very angry to see Jurassic. I hope that the 3D looks okay. If it just doesn't do anything, I'm gonna be pissed because it's gonna cost me an extra $5. I honestly think they should just re-release theaters to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the first movie. That's just what I think I should do. I'm also going to get the Blu-ray trilogy pack anyway, so Universal's getting quite a bit of my money this year. So yeah, I'm pissed because I'm going to be paying extra money to see a 3D experience that's probably not going to be very good. I'm just going to go to see Jurassic Park in theaters. That's really the only reason. I've never seen it in theaters, and it'll just be a good experience to finally see it in theaters. Am I pissed it's going to be in 3D? Yeah. I think that, Universal, you won't make your money just because you're re-releasing Jurassic Park. And how much does that cost just to take an old print, clean it up, put it in theaters? How much does that cost? Really? And then you're going to make back millions and millions of dollars for that, so it's just like, just re-release Jurassic Park in theaters with no trimmings on it. Just put the movie back in theaters. People will go. I'll go. My friends will go. Us YouTube reviewers who are Jurassic Park fans and have nostalgia for the series will go. So I'm pissed it's being re-released in 3D, but I'm of course very excited just to see Jurassic Park in theaters. So if that means the only way I'll see it is if it's in 3D, I'll deal with the 3D. I'm more excited than I am pissed, but I am a little bit pissed, I'll admit. So, the final thing I want to discuss is Jurassic Park 4, which was announced over last Comic-Con. There have, of course, been rumors ever since the internet came out that Jurassic Park 4 was going to happen. It's been all over IMDb and forums and chat rooms and just sites where you can torrent never filmed scripts. but it was never official. And then last Comic-Con, Steven Spielberg finally came out and said, yes, we're going to be making Jurassic Park 4. It's going to be coming out in 2014. So, what do I think of this? Well, The Lost World was pretty good. It had a great premise, at least. Again, as I said, faulty execution. Jurassic Park 3 was pretty bad, because it had no premise. And now you're making a Jurassic Park 4. I have one question. What's the premise? I'm not going to say yay or nay to this until I know the premise. Because that's really the place where a Jurassic Park film either rises or falls, is in its premise. If its premise is strong, the movie will at least be somewhat interesting. Now, give me better execution of that premise than The Lost World, and I'll be very, very happy. But if you do a crappy premise and a crappy execution like Jurassic Park 3, then you're set up to fail. So I'm not going to say much about Jurassic Park 4 until we get a premise. Now, that being said, I don't think it's a very good idea anyway, just because where are you going to take the franchise? The only possible thing I can say is that with dinosaurs being alive on Isla Sorna, no one's ever just going to leave them alone. So if you can come up with an interesting premise where people are bothering dinosaurs on Isla Sorna, doing something interesting, I will watch the movie and probably like it. That being said, I can't personally think of anything, but that doesn't mean that there's no premises out there. I just can't think of anything. So I'm not the final authority on things, so if a writer out there can think of a really interesting place to take Jurassic Park, go for it. I will watch your movie and I'll probably like it. All I want is for the dinosaurs to be treated properly like animals and not like monsters. A new premise, an interesting place to take the franchise, live up to the special effects of the first 3 films, just respect the franchise in general, and I think that people will like it. Now that being said, there is one premise that has been talked about for years that they should not do. Dinosaur-human hybrids. Don't do it. That is a cool-ass idea. Do not do it in Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is about dinosaurs being animals. If you do that, you are totally destroying that premise. Okay? At that point, it is a monster movie. I love monster movies. If you do a movie about dinosaur-human hybrids that is not called Jurassic Park, that sounds awesome. I will go watch your movie and again, probably like it. If you call it Jurassic Park, I will bitch and moan because that sounds like the stupidest thing ever in a movie about dinosaurs being treated like animals. Do not do that in a Jurassic Park film because it is a stupid idea. It tampers with the premise of the franchise and it's not going to feel like a Jurassic Park movie. If you want to do a movie about dinosaur-human hybrids, go ahead. That sounds awesome. Just don't call it Jurassic Park. That's all there is to it. That's really all I'm going to say about Jurassic Park 4. Stay far away from that premise, and I'll be fine with it. And as long as you come up with something interesting to do, that's not just repeating what the first 2 films did, I'll probably see it and like it. So, on principle, I don't think Jurassic Park 4 is a good idea. I think that the best thing to do with the franchise is leave it alone on film, do some more comic books, do some video games and such, but leave the franchise alone. I think that's the best. Leave the movies alone at least. Unless someone can come up with a good premise. If they can, awesome, go for it. I think that's great. But at least for the time being, I think Jurassic Park 4 should remain what it's always been, a rumor. That being said, I am a big fan of Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a very important film in my childhood. And I hope that if they do end up doing Jurassic Park 4, it'll live up to the nostalgia and capture the very important aspect of Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs being animals, the majesty, the curiosity, the intrigue, the fear. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much for watching Zazubaar's Jurassic Park Review miniseries. Thank you very much for following me. I'm not sure what exactly the next review series or what exactly I'm going to be reviewing next is, but I hope you guys will join me for it. Look out for the Godzilla Gang stuff that's coming out soon. Of course, check out Geeky Gentleman, the podcast I do every week on Sid Part 2's channel. Be sure to check that out. Thank you very much for watching and joining me on Sicktastic Films' Jurassic Park Review miniseries. I'm Zazubaar, and see you later. Oh my god! I can't believe I just did a review miniseries about Jurassic Park without Sid Part 2 sending a CG T-Rex after me. This is incredible. I can't believe it. I won. I beat Ian. Ugh. I'm gonna go get a drink. Do, 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 do.
So Nicholas Colsert's again with the advantage. He beat just.
God damn you, Ian!